think I'll probably not give as many facts as the good doctor has given. But let me start by addressing the portfolio committee, who I think are actually the most important people here. So all protocols observed, but greetings to the portfolio committee. And let me just also say I'm not a doctor. I have 2 MAs, but I'm not a doctor. And it's very bad to call yourself a doctor if you're not a doctor, I'm told. And nor am I in the DBSA. I did work for them, but I'm no longer in the DBSA. So let me begin. And as I say, I think there are people here who probably know more than I do, and who certainly have more statistics than I have. So I'm going to speak about schools and violence in schools, where I think it's unacceptable to have the levels of violence that we have. Schools should be a safe haven where you feel loved. Going to school, going on your way there is not a place to be raped. Bullying should stop at school. Gangsters have no place, and guns at home or school have little or no place either. So I've tracked some of the different forms of violence. Why feel safe at school? Well, I think especially given the terrible home circumstances of many kids, often just a hug or some love is what gets you through, whether a day or the year of achievements. And let me say, I'm not being silly there or self-gratifying, but I think that your attitude does determine your altitude. And teachers can hardly tackle the inequalities that make poverty or hunger so much a reality for our young. Now, I know we tend to blame teachers, but teachers are hardly to blame for these issues. While we as the public have much to blame them for, as we can see, many teachers put their hands in their pockets to feed or transport youngsters in their charges, or to make sure that school is a place they can feel safe. And I really do feel for teachers who have to deal with gangs at school. Heads of school or officials have much to do to make sure schools run smoothly. The more smooth the school, the harder to intervene or to disrupt. The better run the department, the easier to devise strategies to combat what is now a national problem. It's not just a Western Cape problem. Discuss these with the learners. They also hate disruption. That's the bottom line. Kids hate disruption. I'm opposed to guns or police in schools. So it doesn't help, as I say, and let's debate it, mostly to have metal detectors or cops at the gates. The hidden lessons of the hidden curriculum are much too problematic. So I think chase the drugs, chase the kids, chase the violence, but don't chase the kids themselves. Where do guns at schools come from? Where do communities disintegrate? Why do people who call themselves leaders close schools or make their kids leave school for political ends or burn schools? I think we've got to ask these questions. While we want more parental involvement in school, often they will get it wrong, and they do get it wrong. And yet, guns in the hands of young people are even worse than guns in the hands of older people. Where do they get these guns? From guns in the hands of the elders, or from the militarized police if they supply a gang, as we've seen happening from Joburg. There's much to do to end inequality and poverty, to remove violence from our communities and schools, to remove guns from the hands of kids and knives, and thus to free our schools. Thank you.